embarrassed, but that display was very reminiscent of the last one. It's baffling to me after the week of practice I watched these guys have that we could play that poorly. We played with enough passion and energy for about 8 or 9 minutes to win games in this league. And we got to show up on Sundays. We're doing a hell of a job Monday through Friday, but we're not showing up on Sundays.
Bruce, it seemed like there wasn't many shots down the field when you hit the Mike Evans, but a lot of balls underneath the Leonard Fournette. Did you guys not want to test this secondary?
Yeah, I mean, Thomas was getting it out of his hand. And there were a couple of times I thought he could have held on a lot longer versus some coverage. Just take your check down and get to the next play.
Bruce, this was the worst pass defense in the NFL coming in terms of yards coming up. Did they do something differently to take away the downfield pass game?
They played a lot of two shell, but I mean, no, not really.
Defensively, in terms of not being able to get off the field on third downs, I think they had 10 conversions. How obviously the last drive was a killer, but how much was that a problem the whole game?
The entire game. You know, Sherm pulls his calf before the game, and then D gets concussed. So we really have him on DBs, but that's no excuse. Whoever's out there, you got to get off the field.
Bruce, last year you guys came out of the bye with such a different way, kind of finding yourselves and cruising the rest of the way. How hard is it to see them have that break and now have the opposite to start things off?
That's very disappointing. I mean, it's very alarming to watch the energy that we practice with and show up with the lack of execution and energy that it takes to win in this league on Sunday. We got a lot of soul searching to do.
Coach, I'm sorry if you've already been asked this, but do you have any sort of update on Vita?
No.
Do you know what the body part is? What he's doing?
He felt something in his knee, but we don't know what it is.
And on that same token, Chase Young is a guy that folks admire all around the league. How tough is it when you see, even on the other sideline, see a guy like
Yeah, you hate to see really good, great players get injured in this game.
Bruce, the second interception that Tom had, do you know what happened on that play? We kind of threw it directly to the defender.
He's overthrew Mike.
With Rob and AB out, that obviously gives opportunities to other guys. Did you get enough out of those other guys today?
Neither one played. Well, Darren played a couple snaps, but we had the rest of the guys, and we didn't get enough of anybody.
Coach, defensively, you guys did come up with 5 sacks. I know that was something you were looking for. Was that any sort of bright spot?
No, because we still had a couple that we let him get out too many times, and we talked about it all week. And I think we dropped 3 interceptions right in our hands. So you're not going to beat anybody that way.
Of all the ways to lose a game, giving up a 19-play drive to close things out, how?
That's very disappointing as for us. Yeah, for us. We pride ourselves on defense, and we've lost too many games, given up too many leads in the fourth quarter.
You mentioned seeing some similar things this week compared to the game before the bye week. Are those things you're seeing troubling to you, or are they easily fixable? Like how?
Energy and passion is very fixable. The penalties, they got to get corrected sooner or later. I mean, first play of the game, we're shifting and we jump off sides. I mean, they don't even run a play and we jump off sides. That's just the stupidity has to go away if we're going to go anywhere.
Is that the most frustrating part about it? Is it the fact that it isn't because of lack of ability, but some of those?
No, that has nothing to do with ability. It's all about execution and being a smart football team. We're a very dumb football team, and that's a reflection of the coaches.
Course, you clearly played worse on the road. You played worse on the road than at home. That's probably not unusual for some teams, but what do you think happens when?
Yeah, that's we thought we had it nailed down, but it's obvious the point spread differential from home and away is, crowd. This wasn't even crowd noise, but so yeah, we've got to do a much better job traveling.
Second straight week that Brady's had multiple interceptions. Can you just speak to what was going on maybe with the receivers and his performance?
No, it had nothing to do with receivers. It was him.
Anything else? Bruce, down as many corners as you are, is there a hope or an optimism that you could have Murphy Bunting and you could have Davis back next week?
Sean showed a lot of progress this week. He started to use his arm. We'll see him practice next week. Carlton's close. I don't know about D getting out of the concussion protocol, so we'll wait and see.
Is there any indication on how serious Sherman's calf injury is?
He couldn't play.
Bruce, what do you rely on to turn this around? You haven't had many losing streaks.
Yeah, I mean, we always talk about teams with good leadership. not losing 2 in a row, and I can't remember the last time, other than before the bye last year. And I trust our guys. We've got a lot of character in there that they'll get it fixed.
Do you think anything coverage-wise or scheme-wise that they hadn't shown on film?
No.
Good.
Thank you. Thanks, Coach. And, you know, that drive's tied, I guess, the longest in the NFL this season. Just what were you unable to do on that one?
Bad football. We had the opportunity to get off the field and we didn't. You know, we talk a lot of stuff, but by the way we played, we didn't play like it. You know, that was a moment where to put our stamp on the game and we didn't. We let them keep the ball and continue to drive, and terrible drive for us right now.
Was it lack of focus? Was it just not having the right kind of attitude?
Nah.
What was it?
Nah, I just hate to say it, but they beat us. You know what I'm saying? They beat us. You got to give them their props. You know, came out, drove the ball, make their plays, and we ain't make no plays.
But it's not for lack of talent, though. You guys have the talent.
No, never a lack of talent. I believe in everybody out there, but today just wasn't it.
Last year you guys did so well coming out of the bye and getting set in the right direction. How hard is it that this is the opposite this time?
I don't know. Maybe some guys had it in their mind, thinking that we'll just come out and you know, beat the team, you know, coming off the bye and just do the same thing we did last year. But it's a different year. You gotta have a different mindset, and it showed. So we definitely gotta get back in the lab and get to work.
What do you think it is about the road games for you guys? I mean, that's where you guys are losing them.
I don't know. I can't really put my finger on it. Guess, you know, just the other team just played better. You know, especially today. You know, we came out flat, and they made more plays than we did, and we didn't play our best brand of football.
Given the number of veterans, given the number of veterans and leaders on this team, how hard is it to kind of figure out where a performance like this comes from?
You know, it ain't gonna be hard. We're gonna go back and watch the film. We're gonna see. We're gonna figure out real quick, and it's gonna be on the veterans' shoulders to get this stuff turned around. To be come out here and put together a performance like that, unacceptable.
What can you do as a leader on this team to inspire that kind of change?
Just keep doing me. Just keep doing me. You know, I come in and I play my role. You know, I handle guys the way I handle them, and we gonna see. You know, next.
We didn't play a lot of cover 2 shell, but were you surprised you didn't take more shots down the field?
No, they did a really good job playing, you know, 2 high defense.
When you caught that 40-yard touchdown, did you think, okay, finally things are going our way, we've got this?
I was excited because he got us back in the game, you know, brought the game within 1 score, so I was excited about that.
Did you expect your team to then surrender a 19-play drive there at the end that you don't even really have a chance? You don't have a chance at the end.
That drive don't define the game. I mean, we lost the game well before that with the penalties and the tip balls and stuff like that. I mean, we just lost the game earlier than that last drive.
Mike, how frustrating is it that this is how you come out of the bye? This is what you guys show with an extra week.
It's extremely frustrating. You know, I feel like I know we're a better team than them, and we didn't get the job done. You know, that's why you play on Sunday. You got to go out there and give it your best, because that's an NFL team, and they are a solid team, and they got the job done tonight.
Can you put your finger on anything as to why maybe you guys came out today not playing the way you typically do, not your typical
definitely.
brand of football?
Penalties and didn't make enough plays. I mean, that's a recipe for disaster.
Is that just not you know, being out of your heads a little bit, not concentrating hard enough?
I don't know what everybody's going through. I could have played better. I know that for sure.
What if you guys or some of you guys might have overlooked this team?
I don't know what other guys are thinking, maybe, but you know, I wasn't. I was trying to, every game I try to go as hard as I can, and tonight it wasn't enough, or today.
Did you feel like it was disjointed out there?
I just feel like we had a lot of penalties. And I know we had more penalties than them. The ball bounced their way a couple times, and you can't win like that with turnovers and penalties.
What can you do as a leader on this team to hopefully get this turned around and get guys?
Just keep doing what I always do. Just work hard. You know, tell the guys that it's just one game. You know, it doesn't define our season, and we got to come with it if we want to get to where we want to go.
Scheme-wise, did they show anything today that they had not shown on film?
No, they showed it. We had a really good week of practice. We were prepared. We knew what to do. We knew what to expect, and we just didn't make enough plays today.
Like, did Tom seem frustrated or hurried or didn't like the protection and didn't trust things? It just didn't seem like, you know, he's been as sharp the last couple of weeks.
Nah, he looked like himself. You know, we definitely had penalties, and we had the turnovers that, you know, weren't even on him. So, you know, that was on me and JD.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Especially when we got the players that we have, you know what I'm saying, each and every play, somebody number going to be called or be put into a position to make a play. And I just feel like we got to execute, you know, when it's your time to be in that position. You know, whether some go wrong, some go right, you know, you just got to, you know, be a man out there and make that play.
Can you pinpoint what exactly went wrong for you guys today? Because obviously it's not for a lack of talent.
Yeah.
I mean, your head's just not in it. What?
Always, man. I just think I can only speak as a defense. You know, that's the guys that I'm around. But I just say, you know, we came out there flat-footed. Just you know, for whatever reason it was, you know, everybody wasn't on the same page. Everybody didn't have the same amount of energy, and that's something we preached all week. You know, in this league, like whether the team, you know, doing good, doing bad, ain't nobody gonna just roll the ball out there and just say come, you know, kick our tail. So that was the thing that we focused on the most. Had a great week of preparation, but it don't mean nothing if you don't execute on Sunday. That's just the thing. Like when we was in those spots to win on like certain downs, third downs or whatever, like we weren't getting off the field. So that's what it was. If I ask me.
You guys have Super Bowl expectations.
Yeah.
To repeat. And then you go out there coming off the bye week, especially considering the way you guys came out of the bye last year. How much tougher does that make it?
I mean, it don't make it tough because, I mean, you still got a lot of games, still got a lot of football to play. I mean, still in the playoff run, you know, still got the same aspirations. You know, everything's going to come together, you know, because, I mean, with the great leadership on this team, you know, we're going to hold each other accountable as captains, and we're going to come together, and whatever it is, we're going to fix it. Like, it don't matter. So, like, we know we want to get to. We know we got the team to be able to get there. So we just got to do what we got to do. You know, it's nothing on the coaches. It's just all players. Like, it's just all grit, hard work, whoever wanted it the most.
What's the emotional response when you see Vita carve out? And if he has his time, what impact could it have on you guys?
Man, I just don't know the severity of it. Just, man, praying for the best for him. I mean, the guy did a lot this offseason to get himself ready to go. Obviously, last season as well, coming back for us. You just hate to see him keep going down. You know, a guy who does everything right, a guy who give it his all every time he out there. But, I mean, it's the nature of the game as well. You know, it's going to be highs and lows in your career. And just, man, I want to see him on the right side of on the long end of the stick, and not that he keep getting the short end. So I'm just praying for him. You know, that's my brother. I have tremendous amount of fun with him out there. So if we got him, great. If we don't, man, I'm gonna miss playing with him for the rest of the season because, man, he a gem.
Another week of Coach Arians talking about the penalties. There's just too many of them, and I know you've made a concerted effort in that department. But what can you do as a leader on this team to try to reverse the trend of what's happening?
Yeah, man, you just gotta hold the next person to you accountable. You know, and it's got to be on yourself too. You got to hold yourself accountable because, you know, I almost got into another altercation with one of their linemen where he pushed me and it's just like turn away and walk away. That was very hard for me to do because at the end of the day, I'm a man, but it's always the second man who get caught. So, you know, but for the sake of my team, you know, I put my best foot forward, and I just feel like as a whole, we all got to have that same mindset. You know, it took me to get fined to get mine, you know, because the attitude I play with, but it ain't going to happen no more. So hopefully everybody else can, you know, kind of put that attitude forward.
So you guys got out with the quarterback, had a bunch of sacks, you had 2, but Heineke, for whatever reason, still seems to get the best of you guys on third down, I guess, is it?
Yeah, I mean, he's a great football player. You know, I talked to him after the game, told him, man, I love his game, man. I love his tenacity just to keep plays alive for his squad and, man, find the person. But at the end of the day, man, when we got guys like we got to go get them. You know, I think that's the whole thing. We got to make it tough on them. And I think we did sometimes, but I think sometimes, you know, we was a little lackadaisical. But at the end of the day, man, it's just about getting better. And whatever that may be, you know, we're going to work on that. We're going to fix ourselves because at the end of the day, I feel like it's a lot of just shooting ourselves in the foot, you know, and that's just how I feel. You know, I obviously got to watch the tape and got to see what the coaches feel and, you know, make corrections. But I know one thing, like, about this team, we got the right people to do it, you know.
Anything else? Thanks, Dan.
I appreciate it.
Let's start. Make it quick.
Tom, there didn't seem to be many shots down the field today. I know there were a couple interceptions, the ball's going off guys' hands and stuff. What were they doing to keep you from having splash plays like in the passing game?
We just never really played on our terms, so we played from behind the whole game, and they played a good game. They had a good plan.
Tom, last year you guys came out of the bye and kind of set things in the right motion for the end of the season. How hard is it to do the opposite in this first game back?
I mean, we have obviously, it's just not a great day of football for us. So it doesn't matter who you play if we, have a bunch of self-inflicted errors too. I mean, we gotta eliminate those and then see if we can go out and execute the plays that are there.
What did you see on the 2 interceptions?
We started with the ball; they came away with it. So, thank you guys. Have a good day.
That's it.